Okay guys, some of you may know or heard of or have used dynamic or flexible ads. You may have seen that Meta is using this as a default as you're creating your Meta ads. And I think there could be some negative consequences into using this. So I'm going to go through why I think you shouldn't be using flexible or dynamic ads, and when you should be using them, and when it is applicable for your business. Okay, so what's going on, ad gang? It's your man Jerry the Ad Wizard coming back at you with a brand new video. And today we're going to be looking at a brand new feature that Meta has just rolled out that they're really trying to incentivize you to use in your ads, that I think is actually really detrimental to the results that you're going to get and to the growth of your business. Okay, so guys, stay tuned. We're going to get into it today. Grab your coffees and grab your hats. It's time to spin up some ad magic. Okay, guys, so I'm in the Meta Ad Manager, and I'm going to go through a few things, okay? What are Meta flexible/dynamic ads? Why are they good? Why they're not good? When you should use them, and when you should not use them, okay? So really important, guys. Like I said, Meta is using this as a default, but I don't think it's really that great for businesses. I'm going to touch on a little bit why I think that is. We're going to go through the ad manager. I'm going to show you whereabouts you create flexible ads and this default setting. So you can turn this off yourself, and then you can create your ads ever you want. And without using that default option, you can decide whether or not you think that will be applicable for your business. Okay, so I'm going to go through. See, a lot of ad managers, okay, a lot of online advertisers endorse this or say that it's nice and all these kind of things. But there's some things that they just don't touch on, okay, and some real big limitations of flexible ads. So I'm going to talk about that today because, like I said, this is a default setting in Meta ads now. Meta is really advising that we use this. And I do think that you can get really interesting and good results with them. But I think that it really depends on what it is that you're trying to achieve, what stage your ads are at, and what you already have in terms of learnings and what you can double down in, okay? So I see it, for example, I've audited some ad accounts recently where people are using flexible ads as a default, okay? They're using flexible ads to A/B test. But there is no A/B testing in flexible ads, okay? So we're going to get into that in a minute. I'm going to show you first where you would go to activate the flexible ads setting in the Meta Ad Manager. So I'll show you that first of all, and then I'm going to go through the rest and tell you where I think it should be applicable and why. So first of all, you're in the Meta Ad Manager, and you're going to press Create. You can see these pretty much across all campaign types. I'm going to go into sales right now because I'm going to show you, through a conversion campaign, how this will look. And then I'm going to show you some examples of how people are using it, and then all those kind of things. We're going to skip the campaign level settings. We're going to go straight to the ad settings. Okay, this information does come at a massive caveat because Meta is always developing how they present the ads, what kind of things. And I think I'm going to show you some areas that I think we should be paying attention to as the time goes on, as rollout happens. But right now, as of September 2024, okay, there are serious limitations in using this, okay, and I'm going to go through those. First of all, I'm going to show you where this setting is. You created a new ad campaign, you go down to the ad set level. This is where you select the dynamic creative, okay? Sometimes I've seen some ad accounts where this is selected as a default, okay? They might have changed the verbiage a little bit to say flexible ads now. Dynamic is pretty much exactly the same as flexible, they just renamed it, okay? They're using huge AI power in these ads, so that is something very important to note. Is that as much as I have a problem with them, they are very good if you know how to use them right. And I think that's the main point here, guys, is that we need to learn how to use these correctly and when they would be best applicable rather than using them as a default. Like, rather than using them as you're just creating your ads, as you're just spinning some stuff up. Don't use them then, okay? So guys, as we can see here, we got a little message saying dynamic creative will soon go away. But until then, using dynamic creative will enable the flexible ad format. This allows you to continue providing creative elements to automatically generate combinations tailored to your audience. We'll also show your ad in the format that we may predict may perform best. So absolutely awesome. I do fully love that they're using the AI technology and some of these technologies within our ads, and it is super awesome. But like I said, there are specific instances where we should use this. Okay, so dynamic ads, aka flexible ads, the dynamic creative section might be going away, and they'll just change it to flexible ad section. Okay, so now this is selected, guys, we're going to go into the ad section, and here we are going to create our ad. Now, the first thing that you will note, if this dynamic ads section has been ticked as a default, is that when you go to the ad creation level, the only thing that you can select is flexible. Okay, we'll show your ad in the format that we predict may perform best. So it basically utilizes a lot of AI technology, a lot of the audience signaling to understand who's going to resonate with this and who's going to react to this the best. But, okay, like I said, very certain circumstances. So, guys, like, there's no availability to press a single image or a single video, a carousel, a collection. You can't do that. You can just select flexible. Now, the way that select flexible ads work is that you add multiple creatives into one ad, okay? It's the exact same as dynamic ads. You've used those before, exactly the same principle, okay? You upload many different images into one ad, which basically tells Meta, hey, these are images. We don't mind what you use and where you use them. Go and find us some good results. Now, I think that's good because, like I keep saying, it's a lot more about the inputs and outputs needed to train that AI system to find us good results. However, when you're still just starting out and you don't know what works, you're still learning, you need to A/B test, okay? You need to understand what is resonating in order to double down on the things that work. And the unfortunate side effect of using dynamic and flexible ads is that they don't tell you that information, okay? You can be running 10 creatives in one ad, and this brings us to the first disadvantage of using these guys. Because if I say, okay, we've got 10, we're going to use 10 of these creatives, the first thing you would say is, okay, well, which ones have worked best? I mean, we want to create more ads of the things that have worked and all those kind of things. We want to double down on our successes. And the first thing that I'd say is, we don't know what's going to work. Unfortunately, this is the big side effect of using flexible ads, is that Meta nowhere shows you which creative is working best, okay? Typically, you might see some of this stuff in the breakdown section, okay? This is actually a section which I would highly advise if you are using flexible ads to check in on, because I do think that a lot of this information will come through here eventually. They're not using it at all right now. And it's kind of similar to if you guys use Google ads, okay, and you're using a PMAX campaign, they don't actually show you the results of each asset there either. You just have one asset group, it'll tell you the results of the asset group, but it doesn't tell you what the individual asset results are. And I think that is a problem, not so much for Google, which really has a lot of fine tuning and optimization within its AI power, but that can run and optimize a lot quicker, aka meta ads, okay? This is problematic because for me, as an ad manager, I want to be able to test certain creatives, okay? I want to see what hooks work, what hooks don't work, and then I want to double down on the things that do work so that we can get even better results, okay? This is very typical, and with a flexible/dynamic ad, you don't get any of that. But before going anywhere else, and you're new here, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe, hit that notification bell so you never miss any more important updates. We are here many times a week to help business owners, entrepreneurs, online advertisers, and digital marketeers get the best from their online ads, paid media, and digital marketing strategies. But without further ado, let's get on with the video. Point 2, guys, is the ads reporting section. Okay, I think this is another really important area to be observant of, because I do think that some of this information might start trickling into these areas, but right now, again, they don't exist. So if you're running a flexible and dynamic ad and you have a bunch of ad creatives in there, and you don't have really conviction into which one is working best, then I'd highly recommend, I'm going to go now through what I would do and what I would suggest if you're just starting out, and I'm going to go through when these ads are applicable and when you should be using them to grow your business. A few videos ago, I did talk about some specific meta scaling tips and tricks, and I go through the flexible and dynamic ad creative, okay, guys, is really, really useful if you already know what works, okay? If you don't know what works, if you don't know what's resonating in your ads, do not use a flexible or dynamic ad, because you can't get granular into the data as to which creative is working best, okay? This is what I'd recommend if you are just starting out, okay? Highly recommend. Now, guys, as you can see here, this is a really good example of, instead of using a flexible or dynamic ad where we've grouped all of the creatives into one, we've split each creative into a different ad so that we can analyze the results for each of those ads, okay? If we group them all together, we don't know which one's working best. So to fix the flexible ad, dynamic ad issue, the first thing I do is understand what's working, understand what's resonating, okay? So you can double down on those things. If, for example, that you know that a certain messaging or a certain hook is working really, really well, then I'd recommend potentially using a flexible or dynamic ad to double down on loads of variants of that particular messaging or hook, right? But at the beginning, you want to test which one's going to resonate best, and you want to make those tests quite different to each other so you know which angle to go down and what to double down on. Flexible and dynamic ads. So within this approach, we can see granularly which ad is working best. So we say out of these, okay, this one here is working the best. This is awesome. We've got some data around this. This one here is working really nicely. Okay, what about that ad? Do we think had a really good hook? Was it the imagery? Was it the messaging? Was it the hook? Was it the visuals? Was it, break that ads down to understand what it could be. and then make other variants of that specific vertical, okay, as you call it, and then group all of those into dynamic ad, okay? Do not use a dynamic or reflexive ad when you're just testing some things out and you're trying to evaluate which messaging or hook or angle works, okay? One big limitation here is that we cannot see the data. So to get around that, A/B test, create individual ads for your individual creatives so that you can go into the ad manager and you can see which one's performing best. Then, step number 2, create other variants of that best performing ad. And if you have conviction, if you say, actually, this has worked really, really well. I have conviction in this, and we want to tweak it a little bit. We want to add maybe a new image. We want to add different hooks, some different text. Okay, but they're very similar. Then you can group those similar creatives into a dynamic and flexible ad. Okay, don't have loads of different types of ads and then group them all to a flexible ad because you won't know what's working well. Okay, that's really, really important, guys. You want to see what's working well so you can double down on the things that work. Okay, really important. Okay, I'm going to go through some advantages of using these flexible ads. Like I said, the AI technology behind these ads is amazing. Okay, when we do use flexible ads down the road, when we know what works and we have other verticals within that ad that we want to test, then we might use flexible ads to give Facebook and Meta all the leverage to say, you know what, it doesn't matter which of these you're going to pick. We just want great results, okay? The first step is to understand what is going to work first, and then you can double down and create flexible ads and dynamic ads on the things that are working, but don't use them if you don't know what's working. So guys, this is what a flexible/dynamic ad looks like. You are basically adding in loads and loads of creative into that one ad, okay? And this brings me to an advantage of using that it is actually quicker. Okay, you don't get as granular data. If you're looking for that data to further inform your decisions, you will get some, but you won't get a lot. And the ease in which you can create individual ads, you're just lumping them all into one. It's nice and easy. It's quick. You don't need to worry about it. But like I said, I think the negatives at this point outweigh the positives, unless you know what is working already and you can double down on those things and you're using variants of that same best performing asset and grouping them all together into a flexible/dynamic ad. Okay, this is typically what the ad will look like. You'll have loads of variants of an image and you might just have one ad in that one ad set. Like I said, I think if you know what's working and you want to double down, they're great. Okay, they're really, really great. If you want to put all of your best performing assets in one campaign, use flexible and dynamic ads. You're basically saying at this point, I don't mind what results I get because I know this stuff works and I'm trusting Meta to go and find us amazing results, giving leverage to the AI power and doing it better than us tinkering with the controls and manually setting things up. Okay, so again, I think there is definitely merit to using this, but I think there are some serious limitations on this, guys. So I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear if flexible ads are working for you, when the use case scenarios are that when you would use them, and if you've had some success in this in the past. I'd love to hear about it, guys. I really, really would. This, again, just my opinion. I've seen flexible ads being used, what I think, somewhat detrimentally to the business learnings. I think especially when you're young and you're a startup, for example, and you want to learn, you need to have those learnings so you can double down on the things that work. Using flexible ads can shoot yourself in the foot a little bit because the CMO, whoever's in charge of marketing, is going to say, okay, well, we gave you a range of assets. Which one worked best? And you're not going to be able to pull that data out. That is problematic, guys, right? What I would suggest is creating a new ad for each creative so that you can see line by line the granular data rather than grouping them all together and allowing Facebook to do the AI power. Do that when you know what works. Okay, guys, so hopefully that was useful to you. Hit me down in the comments below if you've seen anything else. I'd love to hear from you as well. It's just my opinion. And as a caveat, like I mentioned, things change all the time in Meta. As of September 2024, they've been rolling out flexible ads more as a standard. And I thought that I'd just warn you guys that they are great, but only in certain circumstances, okay? So know the circumstances, apply those learnings to your business, and see if they can benefit your business at the right time, okay? I think they are great, but you need to use them at the right time and know the disadvantages if you do use them at the wrong time, okay? Hopefully that was useful to you guys. Okay, and that's it for today, gang. Hopefully now you have a really good understanding about when to use flexible ads/dynamic ads and when you shouldn't use them, okay? So there's specific examples that I've gone through today that hopefully you can apply to your business, to your ads, and you can evaluate for yourself whether or not you think flexible or dynamic ads should be used as part of your ad structure, okay? So hit me down in the comments below if you've got any questions at all. We are here many times a week to help business owners, digital marketers, and online advertisers get the best from their online marketing strategies. I'm Jerry, aka The Ad Wizard. You can follow me on LinkedIn, Jerry Griffiths, on Instagram at Jerry Ad Wizard. and everywhere else at Jerry Dreadlock. If you want to know some amazing meta scaling tips, the best things that I'd recommend, if you see success in your ads and you want to grow them and scale them, check out this video up here. And if nothing else, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'm Jerry the Ad Wizard, and wherever you are in the world, I bid you peace, love, a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, I will catch you in the next one.